Entrepreneurs, how are you guys doing today? I am doing all right. Today is part two of building generational wealth, transferring wealth, and leaving a legacy. Now, we have to understand how important that is because not only do we want to build wealth, but we also want to make sure that our family will be okay too. Our lineage is fine, right? And for those that are interested in wanting that, today is your day because we're going to talk more about it, okay? So continue to tune in as we talk about generational wealth. So we want to make sure that our legal documents are in place to protect our estate and clarify our wishes to whatever we are needing things to be. So let us go over a couple of things. We want to understand what our assets are. So assets are anything as in machinery, property, raw materials, and inventory. It's all the of our possessions mainly. An estate it's also like real estate, art collections, antique items, investments, insurance, and other assets entitlements. And it's also used as an overarching way to refer to a person's net worth. So you want to make sure that these things are protected through legal documentation and having this in place so if something were to happen to you, you know that things will be done according to your wishes. Without these documents, nothing will be done. So let's give an example of our business. So we have a business that we're building, that we're creating. As we are progressing in our business, if something were to take place, something were to happen, God forbid, what will happen to your business. So think about it like that. You want to make sure these things are in place. You want to make sure you have insurance. You want to make sure that you are able to secure your property and pass it down to your next generation without any issues and problems, because a lot of times families, believe it or not, they do fight over assets, and also they fight over anything that we may have estate. So therefore you want to clarify where you would like these things to be and go, so that therefore people will not be confused on what you want to do. All right. And sometimes families often delay the decision. So it is best for you guys to come together in a meeting and discuss what you are intending to do with your assets in your estate. Okay, and they may fear it could be constructed as invasive. So sometimes when you're talking to your family members and you want to discuss these things, sometimes people do get offended, but a lot of times, it's because you're it seems like a person may be plotting on you to gain all the things that you have or whatever have you, but it can't be looked at like that a lot of times because it may or may not be. That's why you have to decide who you give your assets and estate to. And a lot of times you want to pass things down to your family, your descendants. Remember that the purpose of having the money talk is not to find out how much money a person may have or whether they intend to leave you an inheritance. Rather, your goal is to ensure they have sufficient savings to meet their needs, adequate insurance to cover future medical and long-term care costs, and that they have designated individuals like power of attorneys to make financial and medical decisions on their behalf if they become ill or mentally incapacitated. Now, equally important, you should have a living will, a written legal document that defines your wishes for the end of your life. Now, be sure that whoever you intend to be an executor of your estate has been given keys to any safe deposit boxes and the names of their banking firms, life insurance company, and mortgage lender, along with account numbers and online passwords where it's relevant. Now, the future executor shall also be provided the names and contact information to attorneys, financial planners, and accountants. All right. Now, what if you have small children and you are wanting to create this estate planning for them? And what do you do from there? Now, when you're writing a will, it's less about leaving their assets than it is about naming guardians for the kids. So the guardian you name in your will is the person who would take over if both you and the other parent were unavailable to raise your children. That's very unlikely, but worth addressing just in case. And if your children ever needed a guardian, the local court will appoint the person you nominated in your will, absent a serious problem with that person. You can name different guardians for different children you wish. Now, if you haven't made your wishes clear in your will, however, the court would have to choose someone without any guidance from you. The common choice is a family member, but what if you really wouldn't want certain family members to raise your children? Or if you would prefer that a close friend who has a good relationship with your kids step in as guardian? The court wouldn't have any way of knowing. So many parents get stuck when they choose a guardian. After all, no one likes even thinking about someone raising their children. And parents sometimes discover that they disagree about who would be best. Now, the other big reason to write a will is that if you don't, and if one of you did pass away, some of your property might go to your spouse, but directly to your children. It depends on state law. Now, when given a choice, most people prefer that the money goes to their spouse, who will use it for the kids. Okay, and then also buying life insurance. This is more of a financial planning task than a legal one, but it's good to address when you're thinking about taking care of your kids. Buying a life insurance policy that will replace your earnings for a few years is a great way to ensure that if you or the other parent is to pass away unexpectedly, the survivor will quickly have access to cash to help support the family. Term life insurance, which stays in effect for a set of numbers of years, is often a good choice of young parents. If you're responsibly young and healthy, term insurance is cheap. You can shop for the best bargains online, several free services, compare rates, and many different companies. Now, we're going to talk about writing a durable powers of attorney in a living will. You need both, okay? And every adult should have an advanced medical directive, that's a living will, and a durable power of attorney for health care and finances. If an accident or sudden illness strikes, these documents will make things much easier for your family. And in your living will or advanced directive, you set out your wishes for end of life care. A living will is nothing like a regular last will of instatement in which you leave property and name guardians for children. Your documents can be as detailed as or as general as you wish. For example, you might simply say that you want everything necessary to relieve pain, called palliative care or comfort care, but don't want to receive extraordinary measures such as CPR in certain circumstances. Now, in a durable power of attorney for healthcare, you give a trusted person the authority to carry out the wishes in your advance directive and to make other medical decisions if you can't. Depending on where you live, the person you name is called a healthcare agent, attorney in fact for healthcare proxy, or surrogate. A durable power of attorney for finances works like a DPOA for healthcare, except it gives someone authority over your assets. This can be a big benefit to family members, your spouse, and might need to quick access to your checking account to pay the mortgage, for example. Now, without a DPOA for finances, a court order will be necessary. Now, if you're young and healthy, you do still need these documents, yes, even though it's very unlikely that they will be ever used. If you were seriously injured, these documents will let your family know what you wanted, sparing them very difficult decisions and heading off disagreements. It's young people who are strong enough to live a long time with serious injuries. Okay, and now we're going to talk about um, what do you think? What do you think about implementing this into your business? Because this is how you transfer over your estates and your assets to your young children or to anyone that may need to have access to your business on it's because you're the owner, but we need to see that if anything were to happen to you, we need to know that you give permission for another person to gain control of either your children or your assets and your estates until your children are able to handle it on their own. So these are the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm so happy that you guys joined me today. I am a little bit bushed. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a rough couple of moments when talking to you guys. I was high energy, now I'm low. Just dealing with a lot of spiritual attacks, and things like that. But I just ask that you guys just pray for me because it's not easy dealing with people around you that are not mentally on the same page. And then you also have children and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. Then you feel guilty you're doing it and not taking care of them. And then you take care of them, then you feel bad because you're not taking care of your business. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So therefore, guys, I'm so thankful that you guys are here. I'm so thankful that you guys are sticking it out with me. I love you guys. I hope you have a great, great, great day. We'll see you again, God willing, tomorrow. We're going to talk more about another topic, not this one. This is the last segment on this, and I hope you guys gain so much information. If you do have any questions, just please message me. I'll do my very best to get the answer for you. As I said, I'm learning this on my own as well. I just wanted to bring it to your attention because if you have a business like I do, then you want to make sure these things are implemented and in place because it is hard work to have your own business and you don't want it to be snatched underneath your hands nor your children's hands. So guys, please have a wonderful day. We will talk again. Love you guys. Take care. Bye bye.